Mike and Tom are registered with Stewart Partners Global Advisory LLC.
Common Sense Finance with Mike Wiginton and Tom Farrell of HL Wiginton Capital Management, an independent investment and financial planning firm in downtown Jasper. Mike is a chartered financial analyst charter holder, and Tom is a certified financial planner professional. They are here to discuss and give their thoughts on current financial and economic matters. Now, with Common Sense Finance, here are Mike and Tom. Welcome back to another edition of Common Sense Finance. I'm Tom Farrell. This is Mike Wiginton. You know, Mike and I were talking earlier about what's going on with the college kids these days. We both have kids that are working on getting their degrees now. And back in March, you know, the way kids receive their education, at least short term, changed drastically. They all went to exclusively online, doing the Zoom meetings, taking care of all your assignments that way. And this summer, my son took a couple classes, and all online. Nobody was on campus. And I think going back this fall, it's going to be a similar situation where may have some kids in the classroom. They may do some of that, but there's also going to be a lot of online education as well. So that goes back to a lot of conversations we've had about the way that our kids and grandkids will be doing things going forward, and this may be something that really accelerated that, especially in the education space.
No question about it, and a lot of people that will hear this will recognize right off the bat the conversation, because we've had the same conversation so many times, that starts out with, do you think the iPhone 8 was the last advancement in information technology? And it's just a conversation about how technology is changing every aspect of our lives. That's the way you commute or transport, the way you receive health care, the way you're going to get education, the way you communicate with other people. And I believe that this coronavirus, the situation with that in our country has exposed a number of things, just like with the folks with health care going to their doctor. They're opening up a little app on their phone that takes them into a waiting room. In a few minutes, here's the doctor's face through a FaceTime app. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people are going to come away with that. There's no question saying, hey, I like that even better than going down to the doctor's office where I have to sit in a waiting room with a lot of sick people. I sit in the comfort of my own home.
And they may have never even thought to do something like that if it hadn't been for their coronavirus. So this is speeding up a lot of the adoption of these kind of technologies.
And I believe it's going to expose the classroom experience where, as you said, the technology's been there for ever since my oldest son, who just recently graduated, has been in school. When they came in, they had to buy a code, sometimes a CD, a code, so they could get online and access the material for the class.
Right.
Sometimes that was in lieu of a book, sometimes not. You bought the book also. And that's a 3-figure invoice on that. It's not like it's a $12 passcode. And so the point is they're having to go out and get it for themselves, do the work themselves. They're getting taught in what we would say is a non-traditional way. Mm-hmm. And I think that people are going to look at this, a lot of folks are going to look at this and say, really, do I need to pay that gigantic bill when I could get this in a much cheaper method online, just as effective? And I think you mentioned the idea of like a finance professor syndicating their lecture, which I think if it is already happening and is going to continue to happen.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, why pay 30 different professors if you're a large university system with multiple schools when you can pay one to do the lectures and get them out there to the students? So it makes sense.
And these are just our opinions on this, and I will tell you that I think that there's not another space on the planet, another sector on the planet that deserves to be disrupted as much as the public education sector does. And so I certainly hope that happens. Yeah. And again, some folks might find this radical, but I think folks that are in the know and look at this say, yeah, it's coming, and it's long overdue, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, and for the parents and grandparents that may be looking at the expense of helping a child through school, this may be something that you want to maybe do a little bit more research on, and
Sure.
just stuff that you might need to be aware of. So with that said, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Do I believe God? Do I believe understand.